Hello everyone, this is November 30th, 2020, and it was the final of the final of the final Skillman opening between Wesley So and Magnus Carlsen. And what a game it was. Very quick pace because it was a Blitz game. And we're going to review this today so you can see what happened. And November 30th happens to be Magnus Carlsen's birthday. And they were saying that he was not in his home, Norway, celebrating with his family because there was a video of his father, an interview during a break, that he was someplace in a warm place. Now be careful with those warm places, beach, sun, and you can do a lot of distractions there when you're on vacation, semi-vacation, I guess. It is your birthday, so you can do what you want, but we'll see if this was productive a day for Magnus Carlsen or not. Say it isn't so. Oh ho ho. Anyway, all right, here we go. So we start with the beginning with this d4, knight f6, c4, e6, knight f3, d5, knight c3, c5, e3. Look at the position right here. We have these nice four pawns right almost in the middle. Well, technically, somewhat in the middle. And this is Queen's Gambit accepted because the pawn is taken very soon. So let's look at the positioning. It's almost like a mirror image. It actually is almost very much, except for the knight, it's a very mirror image. Look at the pawn structure. We are opening up on the queen side. Magnus Carlsen is white and Wesley So is black, if I haven't mentioned that. So here we continue developing. Everything looks normal up to now. Normal development between chess masters at the top level. So then we take, then we move out the bishop. It also takes. Let's see. Yes, takes. And then we go a6. a6 is a movement, an interesting movement. Why would that happen? Think about that. Why would that be an important move? Okay. Well, we castle. As you can see, Wesley has not castled yet again. There's still, like the Ferraris are still not out of the garage, while Magnus is on the attack with more development again. We'll see if that will work out for him. Then Wesley starts to go on attack. b5. What will the bishop do? He goes all the way up to e2. Bishop b7. Then we start taking control of the board. Now look at the pawn. Look at the queen staring at each other. And this is all about tempo now. They seem to be wanting to get rid of the almighty queens. We'll see if that's going to happen soon. Not yet. The bishop moves in, attacking these pawns and eyeing the A file and the B file. But look at the bishops are staring down, right where the king is. So the pressure is building. So Wesley seems to have a plan. What will Magnus do? Well, he does eat the queen, and the queen is taken, but that means that there was no castling again. Was no castling again for So in this game. So we continue. He brings back the knight, repositioning to probably go over on this side and staring at these pawns. Because remember, those pawns can become almighty queens if we push them enough. Ho, ho, ho. Christmas is coming, so I'll be doing a lot of ho, ho, ho today. Anyway, so he moves the king out of the open file. Maybe he feels more protected here. We shall see. Then, of course, Magnus is moving his knights into position, staring again at these pawns and at this bishop. And this bishop is staring at these pawns. So I guess the thought is to get those pawns. So let's see what happens. Finally, So say it isn't so. I just can't help it anyway. He takes out the knight, and let's see where he's going with those knights. He's got 2 knights and 2 bishops. We got 2 knights, 2 bishops. Very interesting 2 bishop, 2 knight type of game. Okay, we continue. Goes into the territory. Knight to a5. Now, don't they say knight on the rim is dim? But in this case, he's going after this bishop. Oh, yes, indeed. So he wants to get rid of the brother bishops. The knights with the bishops. Let's see what happens. So he protects the bishop with his rook. He still takes it, and now is going after this other brother bishop. So now we are don't have those bishops anymore. Like if you wanted to have a double bishop attack here. We're no longer staring, so plans must be changing as we speak. But remember, this is a blitz game that's going very fast. So he takes the knight. And let's see what happens next. Now he's moving his 2 bishops. Bishop to d2. Kind of going like a crab. This way or that way. This way or that way. So he's now going into position. This can easily become an open file if he moves this and he just somehow protects, can get through this line here. But still, we're developing quick pace middle game. Okay, he protects his bishop here. Trying to go in and see this open line. Well, they're still thinking about what they're going to do. Okay, then we have a double battery of 2 knights. So he's definitely wanting to activate this C file. Let's see what Magnus does to respond. He moves back. It's kind of retreat. That's not really very common of Carlsen to retreat, but he retreats. And where does he retreat? He's kind of like the bishop has nowhere else to go. But I guess he wants to be opening this file. But well, what good will it do to him if he's so close to the king? Maybe he has his own plans. We shall see. So now the bishop is moved by so, and the bishop took this pawn. So 1 pawn less for promotion on so side. And wow, a bishop is almost sacrificed, but it goes right into the knight path with this take. So he takes back. And at the same time, look how genius Magnus can be. He's also attacking this rook. So what will happen next? He moves. And now he continues to attack both the forking of the rooks. What will happen now? Very fast-paced game. Blitz, you kind of think differently, I believe, in long game. It's just very interesting how the thinking pattern of chess players is when they're playing Blitz. This is going much faster than the real game, but I'm explaining things, so here we go. The bishop is moved towards the center. He did take 1, and now he's exposing himself to be taken, and that's what so does. He takes the knight. So now we move. Maybe we're going to try to push the pawn and protect it with the rook. We shall see what's going to happen. But he moves towards this other. It's kind of a lonely pawn. Is he going to take that pawn? It's almost like a free pawn. It's not protected. That's unusual. Because usually Magnus doesn't do moves that are out of rhythm. He's out of sync. It's like maybe the warm air is causing some sort of, maybe he's eating the wrong foods. You know, when you change foods, change environments, change climates. I believe this was almost a midnight game for him. Or it was midnight. So, you know, your mental acuity and all those factors, they are humans. This is also a psychology here. If you're tired, are you going to be on your top of your game? He might want to rethink that. If he's making, to me, for a top chess player like this is a blunder. You don't leave your pieces unprotected, especially if you want to capture pawn. But again, this is blitz game, so you're not having that extra time to think. You're just almost reactionary, kind of like a jerk knee reaction to things. So he moves up the pawn to be protected by this other pawn. Let's see what so does. Say it isn't so. All right, knight moves to d5. So he's going to now probably move his knight on the attack. Interesting. Interesting. It's getting interesting. It's getting spicy. And he moves his rook over to this open position. Well, let's see what happens next. Boom, 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 and boom. He moved the knight. Okay. Boom. Let's look at this kind of soldiers in one the file here, and the rank. The 5th rank looks very strong. You're not getting through this wall. But then maybe he's thinking of going through here. We'll see. We shall see. Let's go. We move the rook, then the pawn. His pawn is attacking the other pawns. They're putting pressure. More pawns might be eaten. And the king is moved. And another knight. He's repositioning the knights. He's really wanting to protect this pawn, so his resources are being stretched. Magnus' resources are being stretched. Can he be here and here at the same time? Where is the magic? Where is the Magnus magic? So he's activating his artillery with the pawns. He's attacking and attacking. Even though there's protection, but these are pawns that are supposed to protect the king. Let's see what kind of... It's getting thin. The ice is thin in Norway, but he's not in Norway. Maybe he should be in Norway with his family celebrating. It's the 30th birthday. It's a big deal. But, again, free will. We continue. We take the pawn. He takes the pawn. And now we're like staring straight at the king. What will he do? He cannot move the king there because the knight is protecting this pawn. So's knight. So he takes the pawn. And now we have quite a few more open files. It feels like this king is almost naked. Kind of, sort of, at least on this side. Well, not as much, but it feels that if So puts more pressure, maybe something will happen here. So he's devouring the pawns with the knight. Pawn promotion is starting to be a very, very far away idea here. So has 2 pawns to Magnus Carlsen's 3. Let's see. Otherwise, it seems to be even, but still, look at the position here. We are really in for a fight. And he now checks the king. Carlsen checks the king. The king moves, obviously. And then Magnus puts the pressure on the knight. Will he succumb to take and open up his position, or will he do a counterattack? Oh, he does a counterattack. That is a bold, courageous moves. Very bold, courageous moves, not to be afraid of the attack here. Instead of escaping, he is now attacking precisely his plan of the rook. Okay, what will Magnus do? Oh, whoops. I need to go back. That was not supposed to happen. So let's see, where was I? I pushed the wrong button, and now you know what happens. But it was very interesting. The king against the king, that is a draw. But let me go back to where we were. This is where we were. My bad, but I'm still going to post this. So we continue. He moves the king out. Oh, let's go back. So we have the moves. So that's where we were. So he moves the rook back to get out of the way. He takes and devours another pawn. It's a devouring pawn session. Then we have the bishop protecting. What else is he gonna do? And then we have another attack with the knight. And then he moves in to be closer. And then we go after you can see So is in command right now. You can see the shift in the command. Who's commanding the game here? So is definitely in control of these final moments of these blitz. As you can see here, we have a double attack on the rooks. He can probably save one only. He can move one out. Which one is he going to want to save? Oh, he did not want to say it. So this is a counterattack, but it has to be a check. Otherwise, any other move would make him be able to take this. So he's forced to check to move the king, delaying the inevitable. So he moves up, and now instead of taking one of these, he is taking another knight. Wow, a pawn taking a knight. Definitely. So is in a sharper, like a sharpened pencil acuity here. He takes one of his rooks. I mean, he is devouring Magnus Carlsen's position. Alrighty, what's next? We take the pawn, and it's check. Pawn for pawn. We are definitely feeling the pressure here. Another capture. Okay, very nice. So it's a very precise game here. And now we take. Can we still do some kind of a counter attack? Let's see, two rooks, a bishop, a knight, and two. So technically another even position, but depending where you're on the board, look how far away Magnus has his defenders. Look how nice and closely knit we are here. And we are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from trying to promote, and this is kind of not going to happen if this does not move. And 1, 2, 3, 4. So look at we are ahead in tempo here for so definitely. And then we eat up another. He was just eating up the pawns like Pac-Man. Yum yum yum. So is hungry. You can tell he's really hungry to get through this game with hopefully a win. We shall see. And then he takes the rook, takes the knight, and the Sol's rook takes this pawn, so no promotion to a queen at this point. Let's see if that can be the same thing with the Sol's pawn. He's moving up with Magnus is moving up with this king. He's moving down, trying to get the pawn promotion. Remember, we have the rook still. Now he's getting closer. He can be eaten up by the king. Oh, not that much. Maybe it is the rook. So he was just waiting for the rook there. And he takes, but now he's open for the rook to take. And look at this game. And now we have a king versus a king. So this is the end of the game. What a game. How rare can you see king versus king in a blitz game? That's very, precise. Top players can really be able to do this. But what a interesting game, since it was a draw. But in the end, with all the points added up, Wesley So won the Skillman Open final round together with all the points he garnered, and he won the top prize of $30,000. I can't imagine how one would feel happening this on your birthday, not just any birthday. It's like the changing of the guard birthday. You're no longer in your 20s and now in your 30s. It's sad to see such a decline, but Magnus Carlsen has had a very long streak of not losing any games, and that takes a toll. You want to have a rest, and here we see the conditions that have led to Wesley. So congratulations. Smiling, I'm sure he said he was going to eat his Thanksgiving dinner after this game, and he has his routine. So congratulations to Wesley So on a fine win. You all have a great time in analyzing this out there in Cyberland, and until next time, au revoir.